Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to VSL F1 Season 6. We are here at round number 10 at the Tifosi home track, the Temple of Speed in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. First year in Formula 1 at the very first Formula 1 World Championship back in 1950, and it's been in the calendar ever since. The track is 5.793 kilometers long, and it has 11 turns, 4 to the left and 7 to the right, and it's a clockwise circuit, and there's quite a few DRS zones on offer today. One for the parabolica to the start finish straight, and one just before Ascari, so it should promise us some really exciting racing. 3 compound tyres used for today's race as always. We've got the C4s, which is the softs, mediums, which is the C3s, and the hards, which is the C2s. I'll go a little bit more about the strategy in just a few moments' time, but I'm very excited to see what this track throws at us. One shot qualifying as per usual, and that means the drivers only have one chance to get in their lap. So, looking at the drivers' standings, we got Mata that's leading by 170 points in Team Green. Second is Carl with 145. 3 is Pete with 114. 4th is Brandon with 91. 5th is Redmart on 79. 6th is Bankai with 67, who is a reserve driver. Ryan Berry is 7th with 64. Iceman is 8th with 48. Jamie is 9th with 45, joint with Akel, 95. 11th is M. Ryan on 43 points. 12th is Ahmed on 38. 13th is Risky on 38 as well. Yuri is 14th on 37. 15th is Newgarden on 25 points. And we got Niels on 22. Tony on 21. Kev on 19. Lee on 18. Logan on 10. And Glock, our newest driver, on 6. Constructors, Yellow is leading the way, which is exciting stuff. 287 points. Green in second with 246 points. Blue in third with 238 points. 4th is Pink with 229. And 5th in last place still is Red with 146. And they wouldn't want to be there, as we don't have the normal team cars like the Ferrari this weekend. Well, tonight actually. It's the multiplayer cars, and the typical Tifosi for all these teams is Team Red, so they need to start pulling their weight in order to get some good results there. I could see Amy getting good results today potentially, but I'm sure the Tifosi will be cheering Team Red on. Will they be able to get off the bottom of the standings after tonight? They need to have a good performance out there in order to stand apart from the crowd. So, without further ado, let's get started with qualifying then. And here we are, as I almost had the sound on too loud, which I do apologise. And it's a nice sunny day out at the moment, which always strikes me to be very good. It's known as Belgium last week. It is known for its changeable conditions. I've commentated on quite a few races where it started off dry and it went to wet. Never have done any race where it's wet all the time. It's mostly like changeable conditions on this game as well, but I'm very, very intrigued to see how the drivers are going to cope with this challenging circuit. You got the first corner, the Variante del Retivio, or however you say the corner, which has remained unchanged since 2000 really. So the first corners you must tackle there, they make up the first chicane. So, and when you get the run out of the parabolica, that is very, very crucial when you get your lap in. So, because Red Matt can't make it tonight, he was the one who was going to do the 2-stop tonight. He's going to be doing it next week. We've got Mata and Yuri that's going to be doing the 2-stop due to the fact that they finished in the top 3 last week. And Brandon has a quali ban due to his incident last week and a 5-second penalty at the end of his race as well. So at the end of this race, he'll have a 5-second penalty. So wherever Brandon finishes, 5 seconds will be added onto it. So, Tony I've already followed on board with, so I'm trying to see who else I can go on board with. Let's go on board with maybe Kev. Let's go, actually no, I went on board with Kev many times. I just can't remember who I went on board with, so I'm just going to pick someone at random as you go around the Variante del Retivio. Now, stick to the outside on entry to get the best turn into turn 1. You're going to be heading into the Curva Grande. Don't touch the thin curbing before you hit the Curva Grande, because otherwise you're going to go into some trouble. You can approach turn 4 and 5, the Variante de Rogia. Curva Grande, easy flat. The absolute best line through here is for your front left wheel. Turn 6 and 7, the Lesmos. There aren't really chicanes, they're like bends. You're going to brake just after the 50-metre board on both attempts. Aim to the right-hand side as you can. Now, you're going to go head through Ascari, the next DRS zone. It's looking good so far. Nicely controlled as we head towards the start of Ascari. Left, right, and then to the left again. It's a very common place where you can invalidate. It's surprisingly short. You can be mistaken to actually go flat out, but you don't really go flat out because otherwise you're going to go into the wall. Now, the final 200 miles per hour straight leads you to arguably the most important corner on this track, and that is the Parabolica. Again, good run is essential. Come across the line, and it is... I didn't see his lap time, but you come across the line in P9 with a 120.3. So not bad for Team Red at this moment in time, but it is Mata on pole position with a 119.2. A bit of mixture of tyres here today as well. So something to keep an eye on here today. So we've got Mata in first with closely followed by Iceman in second. Risky in third. Pete in fourth. Yuri in fifth position. We've got Emrine in sixth. Carl in seventh. Glock in eighth. Ryan Berry in ninth. And we got Kev in 10th position. We got Newgarden in 11th. Acon and Tony, they're the last one to set lap times with all these lovely people. Gavin, Speed Blue Fox, Lee and Brandon. Not saying lap time with Brandon obviously having a qualifying ban. So there were the results of your qualifying session. And just a quick reminder, the ones in the top 10, they have to start on the tyre they set their fastest lap on. Glock, Ryan Berry and Kev, they're on the medium tyres. And we're going to speak about the strategy now as the drivers get their strategy sorted now. Tyre deck, again, like Belgium last week, not too bad. So if you're doing the one-stop strategy, and it looks like it's going to be a nice sunny day out, so that is good news for me, and that's good news for everyone that's racing. So it is going to be a soft to medium race or medium to soft. Now, softs I would probably pit between lap 8 to 11, maybe the undercut for lap 7 potentially as well, or maybe lap 6 if you're lucky, but we'll have to wait and see. And if you want to do medium to soft, pit lap 14 for the undercut, and the pit window lap 15 to around about 17, 18 will probably be the best move. The softs, they last about 13 laps around this circuit. The mediums, they last 17 laps, and the hards last 21. So basically, if you get damage, the best situation is to go onto the hards around about 7, 8 laps in if you wanted to. But it may be not the best move if you want to be on softer tyres as well. Now, you may have noticed Carl has changed teams. He's no longer in ART anymore. He's in ERT, so it's the first race where he's, well, not the first race that he's represented the team, but the first VSL race where he's representing the ERT team as well. Quite a lot of esports teams in this field as well. They want to do them proud, but they're also working towards their team goals as well, their constructors' goals, because don't forget, it's not just about the drivers, it's also about the constructors, teams as well. Now, a few important facts here as well. Charles Leclerc won back in 2019. His second race win with Ferrari. The first one was actually Belgium, where he got emotional after Antoine Hubert's death. But the second one, I think a lot of drivers and fans in 2019 definitely wanted Leclerc to win that one because it meant so much to the Fossey family and the fans and all that, and to everyone at Ferrari. And it meant a lot to me. I was rooting for Lewis Hamilton at the time, but to be honest, at that race, I was rooting for Leclerc to do well because there were some races that season where he was just very unlucky to not get the race win. Bahrain, for example, as well. So it was just nice to see him to get it what he did as well. In 2020, who remembers that 2020 race last season? I mean, it was just insane. The top three was not covered by a Mercedes, a Ferrari, or a Red Bull. It was covered by AlphaTauri, a McLaren, and a Racing Point, now Aston Martin. So, and we saw Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz fight for the win. And you just did not know who was going to win. And I didn't know who to root for as well. But in the end, Pierre Gasly ended up taking his first ever victory, which was a bittersweet. Well, it was a bittersweet feeling for Carlos Sainz fans, because I'm a big McLaren fan. As you know, I support the McLaren team quite a lot, as well as some of you know from my social medias. But it was just the reaction that we saw from Gasly after the race. It was just spectacular, and I nearly cried. I wonder if we're going to get a surprise finish today. We'll have to wait and see. Will the skies cloud over a little bit towards the end? We don't know. But at the moment, according to the game, it's set to be a dry race. And I am not even looking at the chat, because they may say the weather in the, not the YouTube chat, the Twitter chat. They usually say the weather in the Twitter chat usually. And I don't like looking. So, you know, I just like to surprise you as much as I like to be surprised. So we'll get your tyres in just a second for what tyres everybody will be starting on. So we'll have a quick look. So let's just have a look. So here we go. So I don't need the lap data. There we go. So, oh, why did I not get the tyres on? That is weird. Okay, there we go. I eventually got the tyres up. Anyway, not a good start to the formation lap for me. But anyway, so top 7 on the soft. They qualified on them, so they have to start on them. Same with Glock, Ryan, Berry and Kev. They qualified on the medium, so that's where they have to start in. So let's have a look at the tyres outside the top 10. So we got Newgarden on the... Actually, let's start at the back. We got Brandon on the soft, Lee on the soft. Everybody else outside the top 10 are on the mediums. So that's Blue Fox, Gavin, Tony, Acorn, Newgarden, and yeah, Newgarden basically. Obviously, Kev, Ryan, and Got will be starting on the mediums anyway. So let us know in the chat, guys, who you think is going to be doing well here today. We have got some basically interesting thoughts for the drivers. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy come up on your screen. Some people may opt to do that, some people may not opt to do that. We'll see. Now, I usually don't get predictions, because usually I end up crying if I get it wrong. Well, not crying literally, but you know what I mean. But anyway, don't forget we got a few two-stoppers. So, but I'm not ruling them out, because Monza is particularly well known for producing safety cars. So, I'm just having a little bit of a think. I think, I'm tempted to give it to either. I know Matt's on the two-stop, but if the safety car comes, he'll be in a good chance to be on the same strategy as everyone else. If a safety car does come, I'll pick Matter. If not, and there's no safety car, I think I'm going to have to go with Pete. I think Pete's quite fast around this track. I'm knowing this. And I think I'm going to have to go with him. And he's probably going to be annoyed that I jinxed him on stream. But there we go. As we're waiting for Brandon, the last car, to make his way onto the grid. And then we could eventually get started. Massive shout out to all of you in the chat. Let us know where you're listening from as well. And don't forget, if you want to catch our streams, click the subscribe button and turn notifications on. Anyway, the 5 red lights are about to come up on your screen. Matter on the right, Iceman on the left. Who's going to get the better getaway this evening in Monza? And we are underway. Matter has a much better start than Iceman as he covers off him just before turn 1. Don't forget, it's the longest run to the line here. Pete's also got a good start from Risky then. Let's see if they can keep it clean. Turn 1 is an absolute must, I have to say. But looks like everyone is fine. Actually, no, there's a red car that almost went off a little bit there. Unfortunately, we may get a bit of a timing glitch there, but so far I don't think there's any damage so far. But it looks like a few people going side by side. That's Carl on Emrine heading into turn 4. Does it very nicely. A few people off in the gravel trap just a little bit there as well. And you can see Emrine trying to defend from Yuri. Yuri looking very, very quick as well in Team Pink as they head past the second Lesmo. Oh, Yuri almost went a little bit squirmy there, heading past the second Lesmo. Well, let's see how the front people are doing. Mato has already pulled off a 6/10 gap over Iceman, which is crucial because he has to do the two-stop and he'll have to pit slightly earlier. Two-stop, it will be a soft, medium, soft. Obviously, since tyre deck is not too bad. So We got, obviously, 2 drivers doing that today, so they will be on that strategy. Mata and Yuri, everybody else on 1 stop. So they're about to start the second lap. No timing glitch at the moment, and I spoke too soon. I was like, we skipped to lap 3, and we're not on lap 3. So, meanwhile, we got, I think it's Emrine and Yuri. I'm not entirely sure who's going side by side at this moment in time, but they're still going side by side into turn 1. I do believe that's Yuri. So Yuri got the move done there up into, I think, P5 right now. Actually, may not be Yuri. I don't have a clue. But it's a pink car. Okay, it's a pink car. So hopefully the timings will sort itself soon. And there's no DRS, don't forget, on lap 2. So surely we'll be on lap 2 soon enough. Did I see someone go off there? Is it Blue Fox that had a bit of an off? I don't even know. But no trouble so far. No one has picked up damage and no one has gone into the pits either for damage, which is a rarity here in Monza, I have to say, in the races that I've commentated on. As Tony gets past Blue Fox, and he almost got past Lee as well, but Lee is pulling away a little bit there. But look at Pete. Pete's up into 2nd place, so he's having a whale of a time at the moment up the front. So we can pull up that strategy right. This will be gold for him. And we will be officially starting lap 3 now. So DRS will be enabled. And the detection point will be very, very soon. Heading towards, I would say, turn 3. And now heading towards turn 1. So Matt pulling away there because he didn't want Pete to get winning at DRS. I'm guessing he was using that rich mixture to its full potential. But all I know is Kyle is on the DRS range. Side by side into the Curva Grande. How are they going to keep it side by side with Iceman? Kyle gets an excellent run ending into turn 4. Can he hold his line and defend for his life? Nope, he does not. Iceman with a brilliant switch back. Great straight line speed from the Team Yellow car. And Iceman stays in 4th position. Fantastic job. We got Brandon with a battle with Logan as well. Gavin up into 12th position. We'll talk about the biggest gainers as well, I think, going into this. As well as, that was a bit of a lag moment for either myself or from Brandon. And that could have ended up a lot worse as they all head towards the sky now. As we got our first time penalty of the session. Gavin getting a 3-second time penalty. I won't be surprised if people will be getting some. Now, one thing I'm surprised is people are using their ERS very quickly. As I saw Brandon was on 6% just now, and he's need to save quite a lot. So he may be pushing a little bit too much. Meanwhile, Kyle and Iceman are fighting once again. This time, Kyle gets a better exit into turn 1, and he is up into P4. But Iceman is going to have the DRS, so he's going to have more advantage. So it may be a ding-dong bow, so maybe Kyle has been in 4th place on purpose. We'll have to wait and see. Yuri looking good as well behind Iceman. So we've got a DRS train really starting to form here in Monza. And I like this as well. Glock has also picked himself a 3-second time penalty as well on the mediums. Glock got a good getaway as well. Let's see who has gained the most position. So we've got Peter's gained 2, Carl's gained 3, Glock's gained 1. Brandon, the biggest mover, gained 6, Acorn's gained 2, and Leah's gained 3. Biggest loser, Kev, dropped down 6th position, so he's not had a good start there. Leah's not had a good start either, even though he's gained 3. Has got himself a 3-second time penalty as well. Now, a lot of action zones and plenty of chances to overtake, so they're going to be taking a lot of risky strategies here today, especially ones with a 2-stop. Here comes Glot then. 5 tenths separate between him and Yuri, but Yuri's looking even closer on Iceman. Carl's pulling away because of these two battling into turn 1. Trying to leave us plenty of space as they possibly can. And Iceman covered him off. Iceman closed the door. He was like to Yuri, you know what? You're not having my position, my friend. You are going to stay behind me. But that's all allowing Glot to try and get past as well. He's right in the middle of this, heading into turn 4 and into turn 5. Both Iceman and Yuri got squirmy, but that's not affected Yuri in the slightest. Yuri has got even closer now as they head through the Lesmos. So that was very, very exciting. I wonder if Glock was going to take advantage. I think he backed out a little bit. M. Ryan is also in this train as well. We're already on lap 5 already. Glock defends to the right-hand side of our screen. Well, attacks to the right-hand side of our screen, and it's up into P6. Yuri struggling a little bit there. I wonder if his tyres are a little bit of an issue at the moment, so that will allow the other guys behind to get past. Gavin gets another penalty. M. Ryan did a fantastic job to come back through the field. M. Ryan goes to the outside, actually, of Parabolica. Well, let's see what he could do heading into turn number 1 then. Glock also goes for a similar move then. So we could go 2 moves going side by side, but let's go on board with these 2. They almost touch wheels a little bit. Glock was very lucky to not have his end plate come off, which was great to see. So padding past Cobra Grande once again, using the maximum speed. Is a very high speed circuit, I have to say. Many chances to actually get moves, and you know, I think we could see potential mistakes if they're not careful. So let me get the tyres up again. Tony has unfortunately had to pit due to damage, I believe. He's the only driver that's pitted so far. I wonder if it's a strategy call. Here comes Yuri past, I think, M. Ryan? No, he's past Brandon. He's past Brandon, or Brandon tried to get past him. Meanwhile, Iceman, the top 5, has got a penalty, so that may hinder him just a little bit. There's just lots of battles going everywhere at the moment. It's just really hard to look at this stage. As we're seeing another side-by-side battle. Team Red, Tifosi is going to love this. Tifosi would want Ryan Berry to get past Akon right here and right now. Ryan Berry's going to get the DRS. Iceman has binned it in the final corner. That is a very weird place to bin it, so I wonder if his controller is disconnected or something like that, because it looked like it. Because it was hard to control. Meanwhile, we've got Newgarden versus Lee into turn 1 side by side. Lee hits the bump there. It was very, very close. It almost reminded me of Verstappen almost hitting the bump then. Someone's gone for a bit of a spin, and that is Logan down into 14th. That's not what he wanted. On the memes as well, his tyres are probably going to overheat like crazy here. So watch out for him. Gap all the way between Mata and Pete at the moment, 3.6 seconds. Yuri has pitted for the undercut, lap 6. I did say someone would try and go for it, and they did. It's a bit early, I have to say. Well, do we have a safety car? Is that why Yuri is pitted? Or is it a VSC? It's hard to tell with the brake marker boards. Come on, just tell me. VSC, okay, we got a VSC, so it's not a safety car. But that was, to be fair, that was very good timing from Yuri. He was lucky that the VSC stayed out longer than it did. Or did Yuri come out before the safety car? Meanwhile, Mata has gone into the pits as well. For the undercut on the leaders. Obviously, he has to pit for the mediums anyway, and then he'll have to pit one more time for the softs. A bit of a long pit stop for the crew. But yeah, unfortunately, Lee has retired there. So his race did go from bad to worse. Here's Ryan Berry. Wants to gain up on his rivals between Akon and Brandon. Brandon taking full advantage, and Brandon saying, if you can't get the move done on Akon, I'm going to be doing it. So Brandon, side by side then, right hand side, breaking just after the 100 meter ball, going into turn 4 then, avoiding to hit the bump there. He almost did. It could have ended up in a much worse situation, but thank goodness it didn't. Brandon now is up into 6th position. Brilliant stuff there. Having a great race so far. Don't forget, 5 seconds will be added to the end of this race for him due to the incidents that happened to him last week. So it's a bit of a shame there, but at least it's encouraging him to push just a little bit more. 7 laps on these softs, so I won't be surprised if any of the soft runners pit now. Pete stays out. He's your leading one-stop runner at the moment. Carl in second. Risky is having a good race so far. We haven't talked much about him, but let's not talk about him that much because that's where I jinxed him quite a lot. Glock is in fourth, the leading medium runner that's staying out. Ryan in fifth and Brandon in sixth. And meanwhile, he's got Akon under the pressure at the moment. So I wonder if the crossover period has hit between the softs and the mediums. In a normal situation, the delta, the time loss between the softs and the mediums is 9/10 of a second. Are we getting towards the equal amount of delta between the softs and the mediums now for the ones that stayed out on either tyre? You can see how Akon's catching up, so you never know what could happen, but he's been in this battle for quite a long time. Brandon has almost hit the gravel once again, as you can see from up front. So Brandon will have to pit now because he was probably stuck in traffic anyway. But anyway, we're going to keep an eye on Matter's in lap as well. He's already corrupted near the back of this traffic, so I'm almost certain Matter is going to be leading this race once everyone has made their first pit stop and their final pit stops. Yuri will have to pit again. Don't forget he's already pitted though as well, as Kev has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers getting a penalty there, which is not ideal, I have to say the least, as that was a very weird sentence I just put together, but there we go. But anyway, Matter getting a good run on Newgarden, and you can see how the fresher mediums are definitely coming into fruition here. So Matter gets past Newgarden. I don't think Newgarden was challenging Matter there. So Matter is up to 9th. So let's move up to the front then. Neither of the front runners are pitting yet. So I think the undercut was mainly for the 2-stop runners, the likes of Yuri and obviously Matter. The end of the pit window is lap 11, so they are pushing it to their limits, but then they can go on for 2 more laps, I believe, as well. So they're probably just getting to the tyre life, the edge of their tyre life, and they know they can go out for a longer, shorter medium stint, and they want to be on the soft for as long as they can. So I understand why they want to be on the soft for as long as they can. And they're probably gonna be ahead of the 2-stop runners anyway, so they've got nothing to lose, and they'll be on fresher tyres. So they're covering off their back, because if everybody was on the 1-stop strategy, they would have pitted earlier anyway. So they're being a very smart. Meanwhile, Kyle stays out, Pete and Risky come in, Ryan stays out as well, so does Brandon. So a mixture of strategy. So 2 of the soft runners pitted, the others are staying out. So where is Matter? Matter is miles ahead. That out lap was fantastic, and I'm going to look at the gap as Pete comes out as well, and it's around about 2-3 seconds. So yeah, probably more than before Matter went to the pits actually. So Matter is definitely on fire at the moment, and definitely the position that he needs to be in this race so far. But Kyle will need to respond to Pete's undercut. That's the crucial thing if he wants to challenge for a potential podium or the win today. Any stand-up performances that you've been impressed by so far, let us know in the chat. Don't forget, if you want to find out when we're streaming next, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you know when to catch us, either live or as recording. And also follow us on Twitter at VSL_F1 as Kyle goes into the pit lane. So there he goes, and I wonder if he going to the mediums. So, and oh, that's very close. Brandon, oh my goodness, that was almost speeding in the pit lane penalty, unless the penalties did not pop up, but that was very close in that pit lane there. But you can see, again, Matter miles ahead of Pete and, well, of Kyle. Pete a bit ahead of Kyle by looks of things, but for how much? 2.4 seconds. So, again, pretty much the same. So I have to say, pretty good undercut from Pete. It is an undercut I would say circuit. If you don't go and pit for the undercut, then I would say you would be in a lot of trouble. Already on lap 12 already. We're almost halfway into this race. Plenty of battles still to come, so this is going to be intriguing to say the least, as Pete's called to the backup of Kev to try and get past some traffic. I've noticed when I race around Monza, it's just so hard to either defend from people trying to get past you on fresher tyres, or the other way around when you're trying to get past traffic. It's just so difficult. But if you're the person that's on the older tyres and you know they're going to be ahead of you eventually anyway, there's no point in you holding them up. So you're going to probably let them pass. That's what I usually tend to do in this situation, because it helps me, it helps the driver as well. And it basically puts you on their good books. So this is what he will have to do, as Ryan Berry is in actual battle for position. It's not for a net race podium at the moment, but they're on the medium, so Ryan Berry and Acorn, Ryan Berry Jr. is supposed to be proud at the moment. They're cheering him on at the moment. Some of them will be watching it from their homes, of course, due to COVID restrictions. Pass turn, boarding once again. Down the Petronas Bridge. And aim to the right once again. I wonder if people try to cover off the right when they try to defend, or maybe the left. Maybe the left will be the best to cover off as well, because I think that was probably where people could go for the moves anyway. Again, a lot of air is running out, a lot of battery as well, which is interesting. I'm seeing if anyone else is doing good on ERS. Now look at Mata. His ERS is perfect at the moment. He's got half of the battery still yet to use. He's on 44 at the moment, and he's using it when he sees fit. And he's got a good gap as well, but he wants to get part of these traffic, but he knows that people have to pit soon. Pete's on 6, but he's got loads of cars behind him and in front of him. And Carl is very keen to get past this queue as well. So Carl's not that far behind. And because of Pete having this traffic behind him, that's all that's allowing Carl to do is catch up even more. I know Carl is very quick around here. Side by side once again with Kev. He's got past him easily. But I wonder if Kev is going to help his teammates a little bit with Newgarden. So we'll see. Oh, as I've seen Kev go off there. Kev did go off, unfortunately, and he's hit the bullars as well. He's hit the escape road. That's not what you want to do, my friend. That's given Blue Fox a bit of an advantage as well. Blue Fox now up into 9th position on the track as we're halfway into this race now. As Brandon also gets past, so yeah, I think Kev might have picked up damage, but I'm not entirely sure. Gavin's probably got the most penalties at the moment, but he's got to be careful, you know, because you want to avoid the disqualification, and Matt, I believe, has picked up his first one as well. And this was almost going to be 3 wide. Don't make it 3 wide, lads, because otherwise you are going to potentially, I would say, end up in potentially a lot of trouble, I have to say. So he's going to do all he can, of course, to try back for this. There could be a comeback. There could be a safety car. We've seen a VSC already this race, but we haven't seen a safety car, which I'm quite surprised about. Hopefully we don't, but it may spice things up a bit. And it doesn't look like the clouds are going to thicken anytime soon, so it looks like it's going to be sunny for the entire race, which is great to see, as Gavin has gone from bad to worse. He's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but it's very important that you do not give up at this stage, because, you know, you want to be in a position where in the battle he's changing his front wing anyway. Why go on hard? Softs can make it to the end. Or has he ran out of soft? That is the question. Or he may have not got his tyre data facts out and he didn't know how long the softs were going to last. So a bit of a bad decision, I would say, for them. Meanwhile, Mata gets past Acorn very nicely in traffic. Kev goes on the soft, though. Will easily make it to the end as well. I have to say, Kyle could be on course to win if he's one of the only people with penalties. Same with Risky potentially could be on the podium. Not close enough to Carl, unfortunately, at the moment. But Carl's managed to be on the back of Pete, though. So I want to see what the fastest lap up at this stage is. Ryan Berry pits. So does Acorn. I'm surprised Mata hasn't pitted yet for the softs. But he will come in. So forget Mata and Yuri will need to pit once more in order to fulfill their 2-stop requirement after finishing in the top 3 last week, as Acorn goes out of the pits for the soft, and so does Ryan Berry too. So most of the medium runners thinking about pitting. I wonder if Glock is going to do the same thing. Glock has been having more luck this week more than anything. He hasn't been caught in any drama, which is great to see. So we actually get to see his pace at the moment. The gap between Glock and Mata now 9.6. We'll probably see Mata catch up very soon. Brandon and Blue Fox. Brandon gets past Blue Fox into turn 4. And it looked, I think, with the way Blue Fox was not challenging, it looked pretty comfortable. But again, Brandon is on the fresher tyres, whereas Blue Fox is on the older 15-lap-old tyres. But don't forget, Blue Fox will be on the softer tyres very, very shortly. Maybe this lap, I'm sure he will... Is Jeff or himself will need to box. He needs to box right now, I would say. All the medium runners who still yet to pit. So Glock goes in. What about Mata? He stays out. We'll watch New Garden. So Glock goes on to the softs. So we'll see as... oh, okay. Another... As Iceman's out of the race. So where did Iceman bin it? I am not getting the retirement pop-ups, unfortunately. I believe we got a safety car. Let me have a look, actually. Yeah, we got a safety car. A few people deciding to stay out. And Mata, he couldn't have come at a worse time. I think he missed a pit entry, I think, before the safety car came out. So that is awful. Absolutely awful. And that's given advantage Glock. The safety car couldn't have come at a better time for him. He will be your race leader once Mata gets into the pits, I think. Unless Mata will probably come out in the lead, we'll see. But for the likes of Pete and Kyle, it couldn't have come at a worse time, to be honest. As Ryan Berry, the Tifosi must be loving it. The Tifosi, I think, was probably praying for the safety car to eventually, I would say, happen. And eventually it did happen. So, you know, fair play to him. Well done to Ryan Berry at this stage. But anyway, this has been a very exciting race, I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. And according to some people, it looked like he crashed in a Scara. Yes, I can see. Is his car still there? No, his car's gone. It's a safety car that's waiting. So Brandon comes in. Mata comes in. I think he will. Yeah, he will still come out in the lead. So that was, I think, too close comfort for Mata. And I did say if there was a safety car, Mata could be on course to be winning this race. But don't forget, Glock. I'm just going to check about penalties, because penalties could definitely play a factor into this race now. So let's have a look right now. So penalties to Glock and Mata on 3 seconds. Oh my goodness, if it stays as it is and Ryan Berry manages to hold his own, he could be on course to be winning this race. Oh my goodness. Pete is on 8 seconds. So I believe he picked up a 5 second and then a 3 second. So he must have sped in the pit lane. I do not know. New Garden is on 3 seconds as well as Brandon. Ryan is on 3 seconds too. Yuri is on 6. Kev is on 16 seconds. And Gavin is on 14. Everybody else is completely penalty free. Not entirely sure about warnings that people have got at the moment. But regarding stops, everybody has made their compulsory stops. So we don't have to worry about that. Some people actually made 2 stops, like Risky, to go on the softs. Everybody's on the soft now except Gavin. I thought a lot of people would have stayed on the medium because there was no point, because I thought you would have potentially gained track position, but the softs are a lot faster on here, 9/10 quicker than the medium, so in a way it's completely understandable on why they have chosen to do that. Lap 19, now the safety car will still be in because there will be quite a lot of cars, and try and catch up to the field with. And Kev, as probably his race has gone from bad to worse as well, but that means the safety car will be there for a little bit longer. He's got another 5-second penalty. Did Kev pick up more damage or something? Let's see from his pit stop. Or is it just another... Oh. It's just another set of softs. I'm guessing he just wants to, I would assume, go for fastest lap. I think that's what he wants to do. Not surprised, really. So he comes out. So, is your favourite driver that's still out at the moment doing well? I'll get the positions gained as well, because I think no one else is going to pit anymore unless there's another safety car, which I hope not. Anyway, so is the safety car going to come in? Let me have a look, actually. It doesn't look like it. The safety car light is still on. So, let's look at the position. So, Glock's gained 7. Ryan Berry has gained 6. Carl has gained 3. Acorn has gained 6. Newgarden's gained 3. Brandon has gained 8. Blue Fox has gained 5. And Gavin has gained 1 position. And the biggest losers, who has dropped position, I think everyone has either gained positions or lost positions. So Matter has lost 1. Pete has lost 1. Risky's lost 4. M. Ryan has lost 5. But there's more people in the pits. What's happened there? So Yuri and Gavin, I think, are probably either having a fastest lap battle or their tyres have gone there. But we'll see. So, yeah, fastest lap battle for Yuri. But I think that's the same for Gavin too. Still a bit amused, but I completely understand. It sounds like you're going to be running out of softs if you're not careful. Or they may want the safety car to go on just a little bit longer. So everybody now pretty much catching up to the safety car queue. And what could have been for some drivers who would have hoped for no safety car today to ruin their plans, but sometimes you unfortunately have to have something like that as the safety car is in at this lap. Safety car light is off. So Gavin, Glock, sorry, is your de facto safety car. He's going to be the one controlling the pace at the moment, so no one can overtake him until the end of the safety car line, which is usually the start-finish straight. So when the green flags go, that is when everyone can overtake. So Glock, when Glock starts accelerating, that's where everybody else will start accelerating. The safety car restart has got to be very, very clean as we approach lap 21 of 27. People going in 2x2 formation. Matter is very keen to get going, which he is. But Matter's not allowed to overtake just yet. And we go green flag racing here in Monza. Once again, I think Glock has got a good start, but Matt's got a very good restart into turn number 1, and it's going to be like lap 1 all over again. But this time they got to make it cleaner. They know what to do. They know what they did wrong in the first lap, so they got to try and mitigate those mistakes. And someone's gone off. That is Newgarden. And And yeah, I think it may just be Newgarden who probably either made contact with someone or probably span himself. So that is, I would say, danger for Newgarden, I would have to say. But Glock has had the dream restart, so it's Matter. Ryan Berry staying where he is as well. If Ryan Berry could hold on to this train, he could be for a win, but obviously the pace difference between Glock and Matter is huge. Glock and Matter have got to keep in within that 3-second range. Again, this is another crucial factor. So lap 22 then on 27. The fastest lap point, don't forget, 2 points is on offer. So every point's counting. It doesn't matter where you are on the grid, as Gavin has got more damage, and fair play that he's still in this race, to be honest. At least he's not lapped due to the safety car. But anyway, Kevin and Yuri going side by side there. Yuri up to 10th place. As 3 more people pitted, I think all of them was for damage. I think I'm almost certain for Blue Fox is definitely damaged too. So he's going to be on, I would say, a recovery drive and a half. So who's going to make some moves as Pete's picked himself up another penalty? I didn't see who else picked up a penalty, but Pete is up to 11 seconds. Yuri's up to 9. Kev's up to 21. Gavin's up to 17. I can understand why people get penalties, because that was one of the tracks where it's hard for me to stay clean at and be penalty free. One of those tracks is Monza. If I get 1 penalty, it's not too bad, but if I get more than 1 penalty, then I'm potentially in a much bad situation compared to everybody else. But it depends how many penalties people get. So Glock's pulling that gap nicely over Matter, which is not what Matter wants. But I think the safety car allowed quite a lot of people to manage their ERS, and if they're running out of ERS now, then again, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I'm sure a lot of people have turned the fuel mixture to rich as well for the final part of this race. But they got to keep an eye on their engine temperatures. The track temperatures seems to be pretty stable right now. And it will continue to be stable, I would say, for most of this race, the remainder of this race. And I don't think Ryan Berry is going to get the win, but I'm almost certain Ryan Berry is still going to get a good result. But he's got Mr. Kyle chasing on him at this stage. And it's very weird that it's not letting me follow certain people, which is weird. But there we go, that happens. I'm trying to get a different camera shot. But anyway, lap 24 then. Carl has lost DRS rating in Ryan Berry. So you can tell Ryan Berry is definitely on the charge. Kev goes into the pits again. Tap for damage once more. It's still hard to tell these days, you know. And I believe it is to serve his 5-second stop-go penalty. And if I were you, maybe in a safety car, it's, I think, probably crucial more than anything to get your safety car out of the way. As in the 5-second penalty out of the way during the safety car, I mean. So, not much moves at the moment because they're just all in this DRS train of doom, as it sounds like. So it could be the positions we see for the end of this race. But the more penalties that you got, the more time you are going to drop behind your nearest rivals. And Risky could be the one that gains, same as Acorn and same as Kyle and same as Ryan Berry as well. Ryan Berry, could he get... Nah. So Ryan Berry I think is going to get third unless Kyle has anything to say about it. Which potentially he could have something to say. Kyle's getting a good run here. He's running out of overtake though, does Kyle, so he's got to hurry up. The battery is deploying at a very quick rate as we head to the end of this race. Bit of a lock up from Ryan Berry. And I think this will allow Kyle to just gain a few temps. I did see someone pick up another penalty. Or it might just be my eyes deceiving me. Nope, it was my eyes deceiving me right now. Five tenths is the gap now. Closing in per lap. Risky's now 5 tenths on Acorn, so the blue cars are fighting as well. Yuri, I think, let Brandon pass because I think Yuri knows that Brandon can potentially get past some of these drivers anyway. So we'll see what Brandon can do to hold on to a potential 10th or maybe even get 9th potentially. Penultimate lap we go then. Time does fly by so fast, and thank you guys so much for watching so far. And I think the majority of you have been watching to the very start, so thank you very much. And we are in for a very fantastic finish if this carries on like this. Matter now 5 tenths behind Glock. This is for position now. They know that Ryan Berry can't get past, but Matter should know that Kyle got past Ryan Berry, so Kyle could be catching. Kyle is on push mode. He's on fuel rich now. Matter's running out of ERS, so is Kyle. So game on. We know that Glock could potentially get the race victory today if he keeps behind Matt and he doesn't let Kyle slip in within that 3-second window. 4.3 seconds is the gap between Matter and Kyle, but what a gap between Glock and Kyle. It is 4.8. So around about 6 tenths difference. So it's going to be, I think, a very close call. Kyle has won a lot of races this season and is looking to close a little bit more to Matter in the championship, but as the way it stands, he probably will, because Kyle will probably be ahead of him anyway. You can see him on the same camera shot. Pete was having a battle just then, but Ryan Berry can still get Kyle here. Ryan Berry also got no penalties, don't forget. So I think he will potentially still get 4th anyway, but he will miss out on the podium, which is costly. So we'll see them heading in towards turn 4. Oh, that mistake might have cost him just a little bit of time. But to be honest, I would say that Tifosi would be very, very happy of Ryan Berry's performance today. And to be honest, I'm happy too. Gap now, 4.6 seconds. I don't think Kyle has done enough. I think the victory is going to go to this man who almost got the victory in Belgium last week, but he was very, very unlucky. Made loads of mistakes, got damage as well, and has performed very, very well. But can Matter get the lunge in the final few corners? We will see. Is it going to be Glock or is it going to be Matter? I think Matter, it may be too little too late for him, and it is Glock that wins the Italian Grand Prix. Matter is in second, but I think he'll promote Kyle to second. No, Kyle hasn't done enough either. So it's Glock first, Matter second, Kyle in third. Ryan Berry in 4th position. Acorn in 5th. Risky in 6th. Tony in 7th. M. Ryan in 8th. Brandon in 9th. And Pete in 10th. And we got Yuri that finished in 11th. And our final points finisher at the moment is Kev. Actually, may not be Kev. Yeah, it is Kev because Gavin's got more penalties. Or it could be Newgarden. I don't even know. We'll see. So Kev, P12, Gavin, P13. New Garden jump both of them. We will see, because I can't do maths. Some rubbish. Yes, he does jump Gavin, but not Kev. Okay. So we'll go through your results once again, but it is Glock that is your winner. His first win in VSL and another win for Team Yellow. Brandon gets Driver of the Day in game. But I'm going to probably find it hard to pick Driver of the Day myself. So we'll see what happens. So your results then are as follows. Glock, from 8th to 1st, I had to say is freaking incredible. So well done to him. Wins this race. The safety car may have helped him a bit, but he had the pace after the safety car, which helped him get the win. So I'll say good job to him. He deserves it. Matter in 2nd, Carl 3rd, Ryan Berry in 4th, Acorn in 5th, Risky in 6th, Tony in 7th, Emrine in 8th, Brandon 9th, Pete in 10th, Yuri in 11th, Kev in 12th. And your fastest lap point does go to our race winner of Glock, so he gets the maximum points here today. New Garden 13th, Blue Fox 14th, Gavin 15th, and your DNFers are only 2 DNFers tonight, are Iceman and Lee. So that has been the Italian Grand Prix. Next week we head to, I need to check where we are next week. Next week we head to, the drivers are not going to like this track. The drivers will be at Singapore next week. A track where it will test mainly, I think I would say, endurance at the Marina Bay circuit. And the race will probably be up to an hour, probably longer than that if we have safety car and rain. And, I mean, it will hurt your shoulders, but the drivers should be in for a test. But if they win this one, it should be interesting. So, the ones on the 2-stop, the 3-stop, what are you on about? Glot, Matter, and Kyle. And we also got, obviously, Red Matt, who did not turn up tonight. So, we'll have 4 people on the 2-stop. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been JessGames95. And we will see you next week for the Singapore Grand Prix. The first of 2 night races in a row. Have a good evening and goodbye.